What do you and people in the comments, what do you think they're going to do for the closing ceremony?
Oh, Jesus, God, no.
Why do I feel like I'm about to be offended?
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
All right, guys, so this week has been pretty huge in Olympic news updates with Donald Trump and the Bitcoin convention, which Jay has some awesome news on that. It's been a pretty big week. There's also a couple of small developments in the Trump assassination saga, and also some interesting developments, involving Hamas and Israel. Again, while the world is distracted by huge other events, these little things keep coming into play, these real world scenarios with people really losing their lives, being kind of distracted by other things, such as the Olympics and such. So, yeah, pretty big episode, guys. So let's get straight into it. Jay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Oh, let's get into it. All right, Jay. So, obviously, a lot of people have been captivated by the Olympics. The opening ceremony in particular has caused a lot of controversy. Now, you and me were talking about watching the Olympics and wanting to watch the Olympics before the opening ceremony. It's one of those exciting things where you don't even know what badminton is, maybe, and all of a sudden you're like the world's biggest badminton fan, for that like 2 week period. So yeah, tell me, what were you hoping from the Olympic opening ceremony, and what were your thoughts on the ceremony itself?
I mean, I was hoping just a normal ceremony that gets everyone together, that, like the flame. But instead we got an absolute shit show. I mean, it's absolutely a disgrace. I'm now personally boycotting the Olympics. I won't watch a second of it. Unfortunately, I know it's not the athletes themselves that obviously condone what has happened. But I mean, if I was an athlete myself over there, I'd pull out. I would just be like, yeah, I'm done. I know I've trained, 4 years for this, but it's not something that I stand for. And I would pull out, but I know many won't.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So like, on Twitter right now, guys, you've got, hashtag Olympics is always going to trend pretty highly, hashtag Christianity, hashtag Last Supper, hashtag, boycott Olympics. All these things are, quite emblematic of what's happening over there, with the actual opening ceremony. I knew like all opening ceremonies are a spectacle, so I expected a spectacle. The only thing that I really enjoyed was watching the guy who's dressed like an Assassin's Creed character, do his little parkour over the buildings. And if you are only watching that, it's quite entertaining. I never really care about celebrities holding the torch. That doesn't really bother me. I I just felt like it was poorly planned, as well as being ridiculous, as well as being a woke, hell house of a show. You had that really creepy Last Supper scene. You had that blue Smurf.
Why did you have to have the transgenders there? I mean, transgenders don't represent anything about France, and they also don't represent anyone at the Olympics. So, I mean, I don't understand why they would even put that in there to begin with.
Exactly, especially consider over the last couple of years, you've seen multiple, men turn to women, have been told, actually, no, you can't compete against women. You've seen that happen countless times over the last couple of years, but all of a sudden, the woke director of the Olympics decides he's going to direct this full woke, ridiculous thing. You've got some dude with his nutsack hanging out, posing. I'm kind of like, I feel like that could be like a wardrobe mishap, and it's like,
No,
but
it's
it looks so
you've
like
got
hanging
kids
fully out.
everywhere, and no, it's not at all. I mean, the first straw was having that woman as the lighting torch bearer, and I mean, you could have turned a blind eye to that, but then they go and put this on the main stage. They have all those dudes up there. They're dressed like women. They have kids around them. They're dancing with them and stuff like that. Like, it's absolutely disgusting. They've mocked Christianity. They've made so much blasphemy of everything and made a mockery. I mean, and it was a directed target. I mean, let's not forget. I would have loved for them to do that to Muslims. They would have never done that, and why? Because of what would have happened with the outlash, basically.
Yeah.
So it's time, as you know, Christians, that we stand up and we say enough's enough.
Yeah, well, you saw sponsors pulling out. You saw people like posting their reactions live because they were like, "What the hell's
That
going
was the
on?"
thing. People were trying
Yeah.
to post. People were trying to post on other platforms like Facebook, Instagram, on all these other apps and programs, and they were getting shut down. They were getting it removed. They were getting warnings. And the news coverage and the media coverage of it, they wouldn't show those bits.
Yeah.
They literally have hidden it from the everyday person, and it's absolutely outright disgusting. And those companies need to come forth and apologize and tell everyone what has happened. You know, whether it was they didn't know or not, it doesn't matter. It's happened. So
Yeah.
you've got to now rectify that.
I saw Channel 9. They would do it because I watched the Channel 9 broadcast. I'm not going to spend $15 extra on my stand account to watch the Olympics. I'll watch it free on 9. But I watched the opening ceremony and the Channel 9 commentary team, Karl Stefanovic and whoever he was with, when they had the full-on drag show, you could hear they started to laugh and then the mics were muted because they were obviously maybe in shock, maybe just laughing because these dudes looked ridiculous. But you could hear that their mics were muted, like they, like, and then no audio. Like there was that cut off. So what were they saying when their mics were cut off? You know what I mean? Like, because they would have been like, this is ridiculous, but we freaking have to cover this. You know what I mean? Like it's, it didn't look good. It wasn't a good look. And it's really pleasing to see so many people think that this is also stupid and ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like I thought everyone would just bend over backwards and be like, "Oh, okay, cool, whatever." But no, this is
And again, it's
ridiculous.
upsetting for the athletes because I know so many people still want to watch the Olympics, and I mean they're free to do whatever they want. But I just will not condone that. I will stand my ground and I will not watch a second of it. I mean, what was kind of the shining light of it all was basically there was also a complete blackout as of early today, basically all over France. And the only little bit of ray of electricity that was going to the place was to the church. That was all lit up as a beacon of hope.
That seems very suspicious. Would you say that's some kind of inside job by a group of people that are resisting this?
I definitely think so. I definitely it wasn't a natural disaster. It definitely was an attack, I guess you could say, but it was like an attack of a protest that was peaceful. You know what I mean? They basically
I'd put it in that category. Yeah.
They kept the church lit. So it wasn't a long process. So no one could, obviously come to too much harm or anything. But yeah, I mean that country is absolutely riddled with migrants. I mean, you heard what was it a week before with the Australian woman that was basically gang raped over there.
She wasn't basically, she was, yeah. Ridiculous, hey?
And nothing's going to happen of that because the immigrants, they illegally get into the country. How are they going to find these people? You know what I mean? So, and also when the Australians and Argentines went in, their vans also got robbed as well. So all their property was stolen by migrants as well. They've had warnings how many times to not be wearing anything Australian, when they go out. I mean, if you're over there, you're just literally staying within your compound. Like you're not going anywhere.
Yeah, it's not safe.
It's just, that place is definitely not what it was, it used to be. It used to be, very arts and, very quite philosophers and quite intelligent people have gone there to study and get degrees and all that kind of stuff. And it's fallen.
Yeah. I mean, one thing to also take into account is because, for the past year or so, you've always had reports of things happening in France, like attacks, terrorism, this like they've got these group of people that have been brought into the country and that is tearing the country apart. And I've been saying for the last couple of days now, it seems like the absolute worst time to hold an Olympics. It really seems like they've literally had to bring the army in to secure certain areas. And you know what I mean? Like what you're seeing on TV with the Olympics is the pretty stuff. Everything surrounding the Olympic village that isn't part of the Olympics is a hellhole. Like I knew someone who went to Paris last year, and I said, "What the hell are you doing?" And they were like, "Yeah, well, we still wanted to go because we bought the tickets a year ago or whatever, but it doesn't seem safe. I wouldn't be going there." I know someone who's actually gone to the Olympics this year, so it'd be interesting to see what they have to say about that when they come back.
Yeah.
So, yeah, pretty crazy scenes there, and everyone's kind of commenting on it right now. So, what better time than to comment on it ourselves? But moving on from the Olympics,
And then do you think, because we'll move on, but do you think while that was all happening, that the next topic was the one that they moved on to with the Hamas?
Well, I mean, possibly. We saw what happened when America was distracted a couple of weeks ago with the Trump situation. Again, there's all eyes are on one particular part of the world, Twitter and socials, and everyone was talking about one particular side of things. And then all of a sudden, we have an attack in Israel of complete innocence, not soldiers, not an army barracks. Complete
So
innocent.
what did they attack? They attacked a soccer field, didn't they?
It was a school, I believe.
Yeah.
So
Little soccer
Israel
pitch.
bombs a Gaza school. So Israel bombs Gaza school, says it was targeting Hamas.
12 dead, 11 dead,
Israel strike on Gaza school killed 30,
30.
according to these are various websites here. But this is when the world is looking elsewhere, everyone's distracted. You've got no one knows who's in charge of the United States right now. Realistically, no one knows who the hell's calling shots. This is where the rest of the world decide, oh, we can test the boundaries, see what we can get away with. You know what I mean? So,
well, I mean,
scary.
the only other good news to come of that is, I think President Trump had the Prime Minister of Israel. What's his name?
Netanyahu?
Yeah, had him at his home today, and they kind of had a little bit of a talk and a little bit of a discussion on what's going to happen and what they'd like going forward when Trump gets in. And basically said, yeah, basically we want to end this. Enough's enough. Like, it can't keep going on. Trump also called out his basically military and said it's just at the moment it's full of all woke leaders and woke generals, but it's okay because we have got very good generals, and they aren't woke at all, and they are ready to step in once he's in charge, and basically it'll all be done, it'll all be fixed, and everyone will be sorted, which is pretty good.
He did have a very kind of like basically like a first day in office, everything will be okay.
Yeah,
Very kind of reassurance
yeah.
based kind of speech. I did see that part. I thought that sounded pretty interesting. It definitely tried to let people know that he's actually got a plan. He's already kind of talking like he's already the president in some instances. I don't know if that's confidence, false bravado.
People are also saying it's actually against the law for him to be doing that as a citizen and not a president, to be meeting other presidents and organizing deals and stuff like that. So I don't know.
I think it kind of seems like he wants to have his ducks in row. He wants to look proactive. He wants
Swiftly.
to have it so that
I think
on day one he can implement. Yeah.
Literally just swiftly act on everything, and you'll see that like it took Biden 4 years to get nothing done. Kamala Harris has been in charge of that border, and it has got nothing but worse. she doesn't even want to go to the border.
She doesn't visit it, I don't
she's,
think.
no, she's in charge of it. She won't even go there. So, you can't be putting people like that in charge, and then expect that, everything's going to be prosperous. Which I think is why Trump is basically getting, all these ducks in a row. He's going to come in, and it's going to be that much difference.
Oh yeah, I mean, and speaking of not really being able to kind of pretend you're the president too early, Biden's still alive according to news. Why is Kamala doing press conferences?
I think some things will be by force, but that force, it won't be dragged out like what it is. It literally, it will be like done so fast that you won't even know.
Yeah,
because the people that are in charge will be competent people. Like, you know what I mean? Like, when you talk about like, when you talk about like alpha males, Navy SEALs, like top of the top, best of the best, that's the 1%. That's what you're going to be getting.
Well, I mean, also like the elections in November. I think November. The kind of swap over happens the next year, like January or so. So they've got a few months to kind of get everything in line. Then switch over day, bam, done. I mean, I think he said in his speech, I think he said something to the effect of once the changeover happens, you won't ever need to worry about it again. Almost like you won't ever even need to have to worry about an election again. We've got this covered. Which obviously some people on the left are taking to mean this is a hostile takeover of the country. But I think what he means is like he's going to be able to flick things back on track pretty instantly, which is a pretty good sign. But staying on Trump, I know you've got some awesome news.
Yeah, he spoke at the Bitcoin conference.
Yeah. Now I don't follow
first president
conferences
in history.
Okay, well, that's. I mean, I didn't even know there was a Bitcoin conference, but you have a little bit of info on that. Do you want to elaborate a little bit on that for our viewers?
So I mean, first of all, this conference just basically shows you and legitimizes everything about the crypto industry, and how it is the way of the future. I mean, he referred to it as basically like the manufacturing, the steel industry of the early 80s. Earlier than that even. Basically, it's just saying that like this is an industrial revolution that is happening basically before our eyes, and he wants crypto to be made in America. So he wants all the companies in there. He wants to take off all the tariffs and basically all the restrictions, all the choke points. He just wants them to build, and basically everything to be made and manufactured in America.
With Bitcoin.
Yeah. He also, well, not necessarily Bitcoin, but everything like crypto and just in general.
He wants, he wants to. Yeah, okay, I get it.
He also said that he wants to start a reserve. So you know how basically the American dollar used to be backed by gold.
Yeah.
Right. So and then they took them off the gold standard. But I mean, America still has 19% of the supply of gold around the world. So he basically wants to start a Bitcoin reserve and start adding to that reserve. So all the 200,000 Bitcoins that they have will be moved over to that reserve, and they'll add to that as they see fit as moving forward, which is very good. It means that basically it's legitimized. I mean, they're stocking up on it. Why wouldn't you? Yeah, I mean, all everything that basically he spoke about. He spoke about energy as well, because obviously it uses a lot of power and electricity. So did AI. He wants AI to flourish there too, because basically AI and crypto go hand in hand. So he wants all the robotics and AI to be done there. So in doing so, he wants to basically set up a lot of infrastructure and a lot of like different things around the country for that. Not just these silly wind farms and solar stuff. Like he wants a mixture of everything. Because I mean, I think I can't remember what state it was in, but they spent like over $9 billion on a couple of charging ports to be able to charge cars, and basically it's just unaffordable. Because I mean, to fit that for the amount of people that you need is like $12 trillion.
Which is just
So
unsustainable. Yeah.
it's and that was just for one state. So I mean, like, you know, he wants to do it because climate activists will come back and say, oh, this and that, but he wants to do it the best he can, most efficient way, and the smartest way. Because I mean, if you look at the wind tunnel, the wind turbines, the depth that is underneath that, from all the, you know, like it's basically, I think it was like it's pretty expensive when they kill, like, if you go out and you kill one of those bald eagles, which is like the the American Patriot thing, you get fined and you can get put in jail.
Those turbines will be doing that too.
There's hundreds of thousands of them just underneath the wind turbines because they just get hit and they get killed. And then every 5 or 10 years you have to pull down those turbines, refix them and stuff like that. It all costs money. So yeah.
Well, yeah, you've got to bore them right into the ground. They're about the size of like a medium-sized skyscraper. Each, you know, turbine actual windmill thing is like, you know, 6 buses long. Like these aren't small structures. These are humongous. So to build trillions of dollars worth of them, yeah.
I think it was pretty cool. And then at the end, he just said, "Never sell your Bitcoin," which was pretty good as well. Oh, he also said on the first day as well that he would basically come into power, and on the first day fire Gary Gensler. So Gary Gensler's in like the chairman of the SEC. So he's basically the one that controls everything to do with the monetary flow. Like he's basically at the moment like stopping crypto, trying to choke it off, put all these restrictions on it. He deals with taxes and interest rates and all that kind of stuff. So basically get rid of him and let it all flourish, which is pretty good. And everyone cheered for that.
He's the guy that works on like the National Reserve and things like that.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. People have been hating on him for a while now, I'm pretty sure. So yeah. Now Trump obviously in the past has had some, you know, naysaying about Bitcoin. And he's obviously made a bit of a flip. What do you reckon the go is there? I know RFK is kind of on record saying, "I hope Trump keeps his word with Bitcoin." What do you think the go is there? Do you think this is I hope this isn't like a publicity stunt to get votes, which is kind of what RFK is kind of assuming. What are your thoughts?
I think it is still bullish. I think it is still good. I mean, it could be a little bit of votes, but I mean, at least it's better than him saying that he hates it. It's a scam. It's only used by criminals, which, you know, all of that is an absolute joke.
It's usually a Democrat stance on that.
Yeah. I mean, but everything that he said and everything that he wants to do, I think is the right thing and the best move for America, because I mean, he loves America. He wants America first. And I think he's realized that this is a industry and a product that if it's not kept here, it will go to China, it will go to Russia, it will flourish there. Like it'll be a hub, and they will basically have the majority of the rights and shares to it all. Do you know what I mean? So I think he sees the writing on the wall, and he's making a strategic move to make sure that America is first place with it. So
makes sense.
Yeah.
Because even if he doesn't personally like it, the fact that he knows how important it is, and he knows that even if he doesn't want, let's say hypothetically he doesn't want it, he knows that it's important to basically be the Bitcoin standard of crypto, same way the gold standard has been the gold standard for so long. So
yeah, and I mean, like, yeah, and I mean, like that conference had so many speakers. out there. I mean, there was Kathy Woods, Michael Saylor, Snowden.
Yeah.
He was there. He was by conference call. He basically said that like he realizes and accepts that it's political now, and Bitcoin is basically political, and you don't want the whole point of it is you don't want the governance of it, and you don't want the politicians and stuff getting into it, but they will basically. It's part and part of it, but at least Trump wants to make sure that it's all tax free. And it's all like anonymous, so your privacy is kept private, sort of thing. So
Which
which
was
is
the
what
whole point.
yeah. So, I mean, what is that? So I call him JFK, and
A lot of people do.
that really triggers you, doesn't it?
It's just when I hear full on, fully paid CNN reporters call him JFK, I cringe. Like, I mean, like you and me, it's fine, but for like I see
RFK,
people, yeah.
RFK, okay.
And RFK does not roll off the tongue.
It doesn't. JFK does.
Yeah.
JFK Jr. Okay,
Yeah.
RFK Jr. Yeah, I mean, his speech was even more bullish. Like, I mean, if I was voting purely by like crypto,
Mhm.
I would probably vote him. I mean, he basically said on day dot that he would make sure that he would turn it into the reserve currency of the world. He would basically get America to buy 550 bitcoins a day until they amass about 4 million bitcoins in total, which would be about 19% of the total supply of Bitcoin, because there's about 21 million. Probably not that. There's 21 million, but there's actually probably far less than that. There's probably about like maybe 18 million, 17 million. Once you've like factored in like all the lost, keys and wallets and coins that are floating around that will never be returned. Yeah, so basically America would have about 19% of that, which would then equate to them having 19% of the gold around the world as well. So it would tie sort of like in that kind of category as their reserve. So I mean that's so good. So to me that sounds like way more bullishness on his stance. I mean there was a couple of things that Trump did say. He did say as well that he expects when he comes into play that Bitcoin will surpass the market cap of silver. And also because I think Bitcoin at the moment is about 1 trillion. I'm not sure what silver is at the moment, if you just want to look that up. And he reckons that it will eventually pass the market cap of gold, and gold is at 10 trillion. So you're probably looking at like a 10x on whatever the price is now of Bitcoin. So you're pretty much looking at about $1 million per coin if that happened.
The market cap of silver stands at approximately 1.5 trill.
Oh, so that's nothing. I mean, they were almost there.
Mm. But I mean, like in terms of like assets like that, they don't call it liquid assets. They call it I can't remember, but like gold, silver, platinum, things like that.
Property.
Sorry.
Yeah, like property, like it's like an asset. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not as much of a like. It just seems it's easier for people to get into crypto rather than get into I mean, let alone buying actual physical bars of silver. That's just an annoyance, an
Yeah.
inconvenience more than anything.
Yeah.
But even just buying, stocks and things like that, and buying it, that way,
Well, things like
not
silver
as
and
easy.
gold. I mean, I feel like that stuff can just be mined here, right? Like you can just dig into the ground. Oh wow, we found more gold. We found more silver. You know what I mean? There's only so many Bitcoins. There can't be any more. You can't find any more. They can't make any more. So as a finite asset, it's there's nothing quite like it. And I mean, if it's embraced like it is, it'll be the only thing of its kind. I mean, because I mean, people will say, "Oh, yeah, but there might be only be so much gold on the earth." But you can just go to space. Like we'll be going to space soon. Like Elon's pretty much going to be going to Mars and all this stuff, by 2050. So
And what
what's
minerals are going to be more valuable than gold,
exactly?
even? Yeah.
You might find an asteroid halfway there that has a bunch of gold, a bunch of silver. Then you start mining that asteroid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's different things with minerals and stuff like that that I find that aren't as rare. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah. I mean, they'll probably find a more important, more valuable mineral, which they
yeah,
can really build off of. But that's, yeah, exactly. It's more of a, you could just stumble across it, so to speak.
yeah.
Yeah. So that was the Bitcoin conference. I didn't know it even existed. I didn't know it was going to happen. I did hear somebody say a week ago something about supporting Bitcoin, and they said Kamala Harris also needs to come out and support Bitcoin. She seems hesitant to really
I was
do
worried
that.
that she would. I was worried that she
Well,
would.
if she does, that really helps her case.
But
But
she's not. She's already said that she won't. So
exactly, yeah. Well, yeah. So you got Silicon Valley, who are all about crypto, all about AI, all about this future tech. They have to make a choice. We need to back the guy who's backing what we want because it's going to benefit us, or we need to back the person who probably just has the banks in their pocket. So, these Silicon Valley companies that last election really worked hard to push Trump out, they're stuck between a rock and a hard place.
I mean, you do have a lot of, like, as you see now with the voting, TikTokers and all that. Camilla's actually doing very well. So obviously you've got some Silicon Valley people, you got some woke people, the far leftists that have got nothing better to do. They live in the basement and they're just making memes after video after video at the moment. And her popularity has skyrocketed. She's marketing as the I'm a brat kind of person. I don't like politics, but I'm going to go there and I'm going to mess it up and because I'm a brat. You know what I mean? Like she's playing off of that generation. Like screw that. I'm going to go for that dumb person. Like, do you know what I mean?
She's got a pretty bad history with people with certain elements. She obviously has some history with people saying Diddy parties. She's got history, apparently sleeping to the top. People are saying she's got history of when she was a lawyer. She was actually fighting to keep prisoners in prison longer than their sentences because the government were getting free labor from them.
Yeah.
So also if you go as far as they're playing up her African Americanness, but she's Jamaican Indian.
And they're trying to do the whole like if you're black and you're a woman and you don't vote for me, then you're just an idiot. Like you're weird. Like you know what I mean? Like they're trying to do all that kind of stuff. It's like, oh my dear.
I mean, they filmed her for another publicity thing. They filmed her coming out of a record shop with 3 highly influential, black artist albums.
Was one of them Snoop Dogg?
No, they're all
Because you know what? Because
old
at
black songs.
at the Olympics,
Yeah,
Snoop Dogg was wearing the ram's head,
mm-hmm.
the satanic ram's head.
Yes, it was made of like gold.
So is he Satanist?
Maybe. I don't really pay attention to Snoop Dogg anymore. I see him as a sellout. I'm completely honest.
You're actually probably right.
If like,
Told himself.
like I'm a new brand of air freshener. Snoop Dogg would be like, I'll sell that. Snap my face on it. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, back to my point. She was buying those records. influential African American artists to play up to the people that she's really African American or whatever. And then somebody pointed out, like, if she was really a fan of these people, she wouldn't be going to buy their records now. She would already have them. Because she walked out of the record shop being like, this is my favorite record here, my favorite. It's like, you would already have this instead of trying to really play it up. So
Yeah.
I find that to be hypocritical and a little bit weird. But moving on from Kamala Harris, somehow I don't know how we got stuck on her, probably because of me. What was next on our book? We haven't got a book.
Actually, I bought a couple of books. I bought a couple of books. I'll show you right now.
Yeah. The Art of the Deal. That is shiny. That is shiny.
Bought a Trump book.
Yeah. Because I bought a book as well. Hey.
Hey.
Is yours signed? Mine's signed. I signed it. Yeah.
I'm actually flying out there tomorrow to actually meet him. He's taking me to the Tesla factory, giving me a tour. Actually, and I hope a free Tesla as well. So I'm looking forward to that. Look,
that Elon book is big.
This one was cheap, and I mean, I do not like his stance on COVID. I think he made a very big mistake. But I forever kind of have a kind of, it's Arnie of the 90s, like, like,
be useful. 7 tools for life.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Arnie. Kobe.
I feel like, I've got a Kobe Bryant book there, and I've got an Arnold Schwarzenegger book there. I can't fish them out of that.
And at the Olympics, the reptilian, because it's going around at the moment.
LeBron James.
So we got the reptilian. They were saying that in one of the live interviews, his eyes did some weird thing because of I don't know.
Oh, I mean, look, that is one of my favorite conspiracy theories. Whenever you see a video of someone and like there's a glitch with the video, and then it's like, look at his eyes, and I'm like, I just love those videos. It's like,
and the lizard people, they don't actually change. Like they manipulate the human's mind to see something.
I do like those conspiracy theories. I do like them. That's a good range of books. You got a lot of reading to do.
I know, right?
Now, don't do what LeBron James does and sit there with like the same like 20 pages between his fingers, and then have someone be like, "So, what's your favorite part of the story?" And then be like,
"In 20 years' time, I'm still reading the first page."
Yeah, I love seeing those clips. It's like, you're not reading that.
But I'm actually going to get one more to add to my collection.
What are you going to get?
Our other boy, PBD.
Ah,
yeah.
Does he have a book?
Your Next 5 Moves. He's actually got a few books, mate.
Oh, his book cover is so boring.
Professional.
Yeah, I say his book cover is boring and you're like professional. That makes sense. Whereas everyone else there is like a picture of just their head, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it looks like on this week's episode of Oprah's Book Club, oh man. But yeah. Is there anything else that you wanted to cover today?
That's it. I think we're good. I think we just needed to get the Olympics thing out the way.
Yeah.
Bring that to light for the people because it was being suppressed heavily. So,
well, yeah. I mean,
the people that make content of it, the better.
I saw that nutsack thing, and I thought, like, honestly, because it looks like he's wearing he looks like he's wearing women's underwear, and I thought here's 2 things I thought, and I'm not trying to say he's a good guy. 2 things I thought. First thing is he had to whip them things out because I feel like that looked uncomfortable. Second thing I thought, because he was also the guy that was doing like these weird like jumping like leg flips, and I thought maybe they got caught out, and maybe he thought he'd be standing behind somebody. That were my two thoughts, because I just don't want to believe that someone's going to be like, yeah, I'm going to whip out my dick in front of the world, or my ball sack in front of the world. But he was also kind of standing there, just looking over the distance, like, yeah, everyone admire this.
Hmm.
See, I don't know. The nutsack thing. It also reminded me of Step Brothers. Oh, my nutsack on your drum set.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But yeah, no. Unfortunately, I won't be participating in the Olympics. I was going to. I told my partner I'm going to have the Olympics on every single day. I'm just not going to do it. I also don't know what's going to come on the screen. Like, I literally had the opening ceremony on with my kids running around the house. You know what I mean?
Right.
And like certain aspects looked entertaining. Lady Gaga performance looked entertaining, but like the end stuff looked crazy.
Yeah. I mean, okay. One more thing before we go.
Yeah.
What do you and people in the comments, what do you think they're going to do for the closing ceremony? Do you think it'll be just nothing toned down, or do you think they'll ramp it up?
I think, honest to God, I think right now, behind the scenes, they are scrambling because they saw their reaction to this and they're like, holy shit, if we can't come up with something better than what we've done, we just have to go with what we went, because it's going to be just as woke.
You know what? It also sucks for Channel 9 because Channel 7 used to host the Olympics, and this is the first year that Channel 9 has the Olympics. So it would have sucked for them for rating-wise, because I'm sure a lot of people won't watch it. So for rating-wise, it's a bit of a punch on their purse strings.
Yeah, makes sense. I mean, you have people that would have purchased the Stan in Australia. There's a company called Stan, and they're kind of affiliated with Channel 9. But you can buy it's like an extra $15 a month to watch the Olympics. You have people that have purchased that subscription, and those same people will be calling up to cancel it. Yeah. Well,
I'm going to go get my beauty sleep.
Nice. All right, guys. Let us know in the comments what you guys think. And